this is what we have today.
Yeah, we don't have Evan's music.
Evans is currently stuck in traffic apparently. So this is all we have. Or I'll have to get Tony's game later on. So you just get Bryan, Andrew, and myself. So thanks everyone for jumping on another episode of Open Chat. First one of March. The days are getting warmer. Days are getting longer. So things are opening up. So I guess progress in a way, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So it's going to be a good show. Welcome back, Andrew. Andrew was on with us last year. I want to say like around May-ish. And at that time, we're talking about his style, about fitness and model photography. And spoke with Andrew last week. And we kind of wanted to touch upon like just how self-esteem is so important with regards to being a photographer, being a model, being an artist, being someone that makes something. I think being aware of your self-esteem is super important, especially these days. So I think we're going to have a robust conversation around that. So huge thank you to Andrew for jumping on with us once again. And Andrew's links are in the description of this video. He is a very talented fitness and model photographer, as we will show you his work because it is dope. So thanks again. And if this is your first time watching us, Bryan and myself have YouTube channels. Tony, banger, I know. I should have brought the clip back. That would have been really good timing. If this is your first time watching us, Bryan and myself have YouTube channels, and you're currently on my channels. So if you don't know what I'm about, do vlogs, do small business interviews, documentaries, sometimes host this show. So if you don't know what my channel's about, have a look after. And if you like it, subscribe. And we try to have some fun on this show. So that's the pitch. Bryan?
Yeah, happy Wednesday. We are going to have an interesting conversation tonight. I'm looking forward to it. And my name is Bryan. I am Brampton, Ontario-based photographer, videographer, and ghost hunter. Yes. My YouTube channel is all about ghost hunting, just because I wanted to do something different. And it's a lot of fun. And Paul put the link below, I'm sure, so check it out if you like ghosts and that kind of stuff.
There's one behind you. You should, like, one week you should set up, like, like the shadow thing from, like, the Bandit. You should set that up.
Yeah, Steve.
Make us all, like, freak out, yeah.
That'd be fun. Yeah. That'd be fun. Anyway, let's talk to Andrew. And see,
Andrew, welcome, man. Who are you and what do you do, man?
I'm a fitness / boudoir photographer, I guess, now.
Yes, sir. Okay, all right.
Trying to mix the two of them and just create some strong images.
Yeah,
very talented. Doing it for about 5 years now, 5-6 years.
Yeah, very talented. So I'm not sure where you want to begin. Do you want me to show your Instagram account first and maybe kind of go through that real quick, or where do you want to start?
We can talk about the issues we wanted to talk about today, like the self-esteem.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can maybe show some of those images that kind of speak to the self-esteem or self-awareness, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so self-esteem, the definition is basically confidence in one's own worth or abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is maybe partially that, but on these social media platforms,
right,
it doesn't seem like it's even about us anymore.
It's
about trying to please the next person.
Yeah,
which is almost impossible. It
is impossible.
You see the political climate today.
Yeah,
where you want our politicians to satisfy. How about this? It's hard enough to please your spouse, let alone please 30 million people.
Oh, it's impossible.
So how do you stay comfortable doing what you're doing and not be affected by other people? Because even though we're talking about ourselves all the time, the world is more than ourselves.
Oh yeah, 100%. How do you approach your shoots usually? Like, what's your mindset going into a shoot?
Well, my mindset going into a shoot is to make some strong images that people are going to say, "Ooh, why is that model doing that?" But you know what? Anymore. That's what I want.
That's what you want.
So, we've moved from the days of just a simple white backgrounds to do stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Now the studios are, filling themselves with vintage furniture and walls and creativity, murals, special effects like Bryan does, just to make things interesting or take your skill to a different level.
Yeah.
I think you have to do that to separate yourself as a photographer.
Yeah, anyone can walk up and do a basic headshot.
Yeah. So So with that in mind, like I was a photographer. We interact with many people. You have many conversations with people, and while in this conversation, you understand some of the insecurities of people. And again, all have insecurities.
Of
We all
course.
have them.
Yeah.
And, taking someone's picture, the idea to take someone's picture is to make them look better,
Right.
or happy with their own self-image. But the problem is now that we're in this area of comparison, which is almost impossible to do.
Yes. It's a comparison is the thief of joy.
And again, social media. I've seen a lot of people this year taking breaks from social media too.
Yeah.
For many many reasons, from their mental health to just the angst that it causes. I think that again, I'm speaking for myself. I don't post.
You don't post on IG. Even though your IG is really good, you don't post.
Yeah, I don't actually understand why I don't post. I probably have 130,000 images. I've only posted, I think, 350 times. And I do big square too, so that's going to be even more. But, and I just want to make my clients happy with what they get, of course. Right. I want strong images from them. Do I look for a certain type of person? I'm pretty, my models are basically stereotyped around their jaws for me. If they have a strong jaw, I probably want to try and shoot with you. But again, it's just a way I want my people to look. But when I look at Instagram now, I'm starting to see more situations where the lighting might not be perfect, but you know what? It still looks really good. So I have to dial back myself with this whole perfectionist part of the art.
Done is better than perfect.
Yes, it is.
You just gotta keep moving on to the next thing, right?
I can confidently say that I used to be that guy who would zoom into 200% back when I did wildlife stuff, especially. And if I couldn't see every single feather clearly on a bird's head, garbage at 200%. Nobody else cared except me.
Yeah.
But you're putting your stuff out there, so you do care. But but the people.
But I had to get past that and look at the image as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so maybe it was a little bit blurry, but did I capture a feeling, which is much more effective than just a technically perfect picture?
Yes, and I'm struggling with that. Again, my picture is not even close to being perfect or anything like that. But I just want to create what I like. Even when I edit, I don't use presets either. So whatever comes to my mind that day is how it's going to start to be edited. And so, is that wrong or right? But then I look at in this day and age too, with the influx of filters, color grading, all those things. People have skills to create other things. Bryan does his lighting his lighting with, say, pyrotechnics and things like that, or with the black light he used the other day. I haven't tried those things, but you know what? I should be trying those things because you don't know where it can take you in photography either.
And you don't know who you can meet.
It gives you the chance to create things that you haven't created yet, and that'll open up areas of your brain and push into maybe the stuff that you do normally to make money. And you'll be like, well, hey, I can use some of these techniques in some of my more commercially successful stuff and bring a new look to that as well.
So how is so you spoke about, Bryan, how you were pixel peeping your landscapes or your wildlife.
Everything. I did it with everything.
How did you get past that?
It took a lot of work to get past it. I'm not going to lie. I'm still working on it. But I think a lot of it for me was just, I'm just going to create the piece that I want to create. I don't care if other people like it as much. But what I found is by doing that and creating what I want to create, the people that do follow me and interact with me are more invested in what I'm doing. Instead of, look, another pretty Instagram picture. They actually look at it and they like it and they'll communicate. And so once you start making that personal connection with the people that are consuming what you're posting, you start to realize that they're more invested in you as a person and an artist.
Yeah. 100%.
Than just, look, it's another guy who can take pretty pictures.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because there's 50 million of those out there.
Yes, and more people are getting involved in it and expecting this big return from what's going on, whether it's going to be likes or subscribers, whatever it's going to be. Again, I segue to Facebook and the definition of a friend on Facebook. Well, like a friend on Facebook means nothing. Why? You don't know them. It's photography. Pictures lie.
Yeah,
pictures lie.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to understand that. It's great, when you shoot a model, she's all made up with her makeup artist and all that stuff. It's great. The person's a princess for a day, princess for 3 hours. It's amazing. And then you have people say, well, that doesn't look like her anymore. Well, if you glam up somebody to their 10, you can't expect that every day. And at the same time, that's not who they are anyways. That's a portrait for a reason.
Yeah.
But people now are searching for likes, because if I don't have, if I post something, I don't get 100 likes, my art must not be good. We have to get.
Well, it's validation, right? It's the validation syndrome that social media pushes onto people, right? So once you get a post that gets like 100 likes, you're pumped to put out the next one, but then the next one kind of flops, right? So it's this kind of like vicious cycle where you're always trying to chase that.
It's very difficult to
and that's why I always say you got to do it for yourself, right? Like when you go into a shoot, Andrew, like do you shoot for you first, or do you shoot for the model first?
Well, I guess we all want to have a style that's identified by people. So some of my friends are talking to me, well, why you try some different angles now using, I look at people like Dominic Cruz, who uses a 14 mil to do portraits and without getting distortion. It's amazing what he does. He's shooting from low to high. But to create cool images for people, that's what I really want to do. I want those people to be happy with what they get. But at the same time, it's going to be, a model might say to me, well, if you try this angle, it might look better. And I say to that person, in trying to take that shot, I have to consider the lighting, the composition, all these other things to get that shot, which they may or may not understand. And the image that they see is going to be the image that I see through my lens until they see it, and then they can make their own judgments on it, on the composition itself.
Yeah.
And again, no one sees the same thing the same way. So
no,
how will you ever satisfy that?
Well, that's the good thing about photography, is that there is no right answer, really. Like Tony said,
yes,
his comment, you learn the rules and then break them. Exactly, Tony. You got it.
And you said, like, when I go to do a shoot, I don't really have a set plan. Like, I know Bryan says he has to set up for 2 or 3 hours to get that shot because of all the makeup artists work he's doing, which is amazing when they do that, especially for beauty and things like that as well. I admire that stuff. But when I shoot, I just basically want to have a great time. I'm going to pick a location that's gonna, in my estimation, make that model look good, no matter who they are or what they're doing. And that's my goal. And basically to have fun in my shoot. I do some shoots that are super long. I have like 6 or 7 hour shoots. I've had a 24-hour photo shoot before too. So it's just fun. And so when you're shooting with me, I'm doing 6.
How many batteries did you bring that day?
Pardon me?
How many batteries did you bring on the 24-hour shoot?
Exactly, right? So Airbnb's involved, the beach.
Oh man, I want to follow you around. But I mean, I know that you also have a relationship with these people, right? It's not like a total stranger. Like you have some sort of relationship, just so you have a vibe with them, right? Like it's important, right?
Yeah, well, you have to be built over time. Like some models I've talked to for a couple of years, I've never even shot them. Maybe because the timing hasn't worked out or whatever, but you're trying to get to there. You're constantly sending images back and forth to each other. You're talking about other people's work that they like, that they might want to be interested in. It's important.
So you're always like bouncing ideas off these.
Always bouncing ideas.
And you say, hey, do you like this? You like this? What about this? What about this?
Yeah, like also, I'm sure Bryan does this too. He brings in effects. I bring in wardrobe sometimes. Sometimes I supply wardrobe. Sometimes I don't. Do we talk about wardrobe though? It's amazing when a photographer and a model are talking about Fashion Nova for weeks. And that's what we do. So, Fashion Nova, again, I shoot a lot of boudoir stuff now. Again, I want my images to people to say, oh my God, look at how I transformed this, attractive person, of course, generally attractive person, into this for that hour. How they look like that for an hour? You're like, because they've done the work themselves too. Like, we have to give a lot of credit to the models too. They do a lot of work as well. And my job is to try and.
And they often don't get enough credit.
Pardon me?
Let's be honest. They often don't get enough credit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think without them, there's no image.
Yeah.
Well, right? Yes.
So you have to give them credit. And for my models, the ones I shoot, I generally don't get makeup artists. Okay. So that's when I'm searching, or I'm looking at the platform, and I'm looking at I'm searching new models out and stuff like that. They kind of have to fit a kind of mold for me. I have this thing about people's jaws, which is kind of my thing, because I like to shoot portraits. So no matter what I shoot, when I start a photo session, I shoot probably beauty first. Why? Okay. Because I use shallow depth of field, and they're blurred, and that's going to happen. And it makes, and also at the same time, when I'm doing that, it makes the model comfortable because they get used to my style when I'm actually with them.
Right.
And then we move into the other stuff. So
that's a good approach.
It's worked for me. Like your photo shoot, if it's not fun, you shouldn't be there. You should be laughing, and having a good time and experimenting.
Yeah, it has to be fun, or else it's not going to work out. I mean,
it gets
stale, right? Be good.
So with images, people talk, like Bryan was talking about earlier before the show started. We were talking about editing people and the use of filters and stuff like that people use on their phones daily, and getting rid of that pimple. We have to really do a lot of work, and the science or the work behind the actual photo. There's a lot to it, and I don't even know Photoshop very well, and because I kind of hate it because it's so daunting to me. But to learn those tools to make your pictures what you want them to be is a very difficult. Right. And that
learn it. It's so fun, man.
Yeah, Bryan will teach you.
Yeah. The thing is about it though is you prep for the photo shoot, you get to the location, you do the photo shoot, and the photo shoot is generally over for most people, not the photographer.
Not the photographer, no.
That's when the work starts for the photographer.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you, but I try to shoot. I generally underexpose my pictures, and I get them in the ballpark of where I want them, and then I become the artist afterwards. So
can you show some of your stuff? Like this, like the square thing, it's so crazy, man. I love it.
Yeah, with big square.
The jaw.
Spam, but
who is she?
She is my goodness. You'd have to click on the picture. I don't remember all their names. Her last name's Shook.
You're a puzzle piece of me 20 weeks ago. No name? Tag?
So yeah, like I said, I don't really.
Alina.
Yes.
I'll check.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, like it's, and so with the picture, I made a puzzle. Like again, I use my Photoshop skills, which aren't that great, but I made a puzzle of the picture. Right.
That's cool.
So again, it's subtle, the pieces, I think, but something different, right?
I dig it. That's super cool.
Right. So with these pictures, when I first started, I began taking pictures at the production studio in Mississauga.
Okay.
And that's how I became accustomed to studio lighting. This next picture is Christy Clough from the Orangeville area, and these were taken outside.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So it's so intimate. Like you're so close.
Yeah, 7200 is my favorite lens for a reason. The compression on it, the headshots it gives off. Again, I kind of want my pictures to be viewed and have the person not know where it's taken. Like, you know, I was outside probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Cambridge, Ontario, and just
you're using off-camera flash.
Yes, I'm a strobist for sure.
Yeah,
I know that a lot of people like natural light, but when you mix the two together, it's gold.
Yeah, it's magic, eh? I like that photo a lot.
Again, it's an odd thing. Yeah, it's an odd thing. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I like this. The yellow and the red.
Yeah,
Nice.
like
wow.
Yeah, it's just again, it's fun. Why have so many headshots? It's just I just like them. Again, I'm a portrait person, but and I shoot fitness. A fitness photographer who has a portrait work on his page. So my page isn't actually a representation of what I actually do. I'm trying to post what I like.
Post what you like.
I can relate to that.
Got it.
You know, I've done some wedding stuff. I've done some fashion stuff. I'm doing the Hamilton Fashion Week this weekend. I've done Runway Canada before, so I shot Miss Canada a few times.
Yeah, buddy.
So
you got a question from Tony. What factors help determine if you shoot in color or black and white?
Well, as Bryan, Paul, I don't know if you guys edit, a color picture is basically what we take all the time, but you can't just change a picture to black and white. You still have to edit it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people actually realize that, but
what's the difference in the edit process, color versus black and white? Like, is there something like what's
depends on the mood of the black and white you want to have at the end?
Exactly. It's about the mood. Like that's the thing about a picture or an image. It's the composition, the lighting, the mood you want to set, the story you want it to tell. Myself, I started with extremely dark pictures. I guess that's called I don't know what we called, but my pictures were very dark, and people used to say to me, "Why are your pictures so dark?" Because I like the edge of it. I like to turn that contrast. I like that.
Yeah.
So
low key, moody.
Yeah, low key. There you go. That's
yeah.
So, and I saw a lot of studio work is very high key stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's not my mood. I want to do even like weddings or wedding photography. Wedding photographers do great work. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's too light for me, generally.
Yeah, a lot of wedding styles are very light and airy.
Airy, yes.
Yeah.
And so for me, a wedding shot for me that would completely change that out would be a woman in a wedding dress at the hall with a broken bottle of wine on the ground. That would be for me. Why? Because it's completely opposite of what's supposed to happen. Right. Yeah, at their wedding, you shouldn't have a broken ball on the ground, the bride upset or whatever. Or say what I'll do is for some shoots, I've been to the ghost station. Yes, I've been kicked out of there numerous times.
Haven't we all?
Right. Again, you have to push the.
You're not a vlogger unless you've been kicked out of a ghost station.
Right. So you have a girl on the ghost station platform in lingerie, and people are like, "What are you doing? Making drink shots."
That's right.
That's what
Yeah,
I've been escorted out of many buildings in downtown Toronto. Like, not asked to leave, actually escorted out.
Yeah,
but
they knew I would start shooting again the second they walked away, so they escorted me out.
Right.
Yeah, that's Bryan. Make sure he leaves. Yeah.
Right. So again, it's just low key was my thing, and I'm a little to the opposite now. I'm just a little lighter, but I like to shoot outside. So. I try to mix those out. A lot of photographers don't even do night shoots either. Night shoots are amazing.
You gotta come to the meetup on Saturday.
Me?
You gotta come to the meetup on Saturday. Saturday night.
I think from 3 to 7 or something. But we'll see.
Tony has a great idea. A bride wearing combat boots.
Exactly.
There you go. See?
Like you have to do the opposites. You have to do the opposites.
I did a styled bridal outside in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
You gotta do those things, or just odd is better.
Yeah.
Now, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to do your thing, and that kind of goes, following the topic about not trying to please everyone, right? Because if you're doing something totally like out there, it's like people are like, "What's happening?" Well, this is for me, right? So it's about having that confidence to actually do what you want and not being worried about what other people think.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure nobody likes having their pick. Like everyone shoots boudoir because that's in flavor right now. But what's different about your boudoir? Like I wanted to tell a story. A lot of my pictures, I know the headshots I have here basically are straight on my page. But if you're shooting with me, generally you won't even look at my camera. Why? Because I want that shadowing of, or those deep thoughts of, reflective thoughts of the people's emotions, right?
You want that separation from the subject to the camera, right? You want that separation. Like, you don't want the person looking right at you.
No, it's at times it does happen, but often not. It's not because I'm afraid to catch lights and stuff like that, because I think I feel light very good. But I am my thing is, I like my subjects' faces very well lit. I know a lot of people do shadow play. I think if you can create the shadow that you want, great. But if you can't, it's not the shot I want. Right? Like, I'm not saying, the model doesn't have to be a 15 or a 10 or any of those things, but I just want them to feel good during my shoot. I want them to appreciate the work we've done together, because even when we do a shoot, it's not my shoot, it's not their shoot, it's our shoot. Right? So
that's important.
So I have to listen to what they want and their ideas. And even for wardrobe, many times I'll just say, bring 10 items. We'll start with number 5 and go from there.
Mix and match, play.
Yeah, we'll see.
Put things together that shouldn't go together to create unique looks.
Color blocking is one thing you can do, right?
Styling's so much fun. Yeah,
so it can be a lot of fun. And is it stressful? I think nowadays with all the costs of it, it's getting a little more stressful for us as photographers shooting models. And I don't know. Again, I praise these photographers who are making lots of money doing portrait shoots, but generally my shoots start at $400 for an hour and a half. And the reason why I'm in the area I'm in is because the people, to make money, you have to be shooting people in their mid-30s to 40s for portrait photography. Because
why in that age range?
Because those people have money.
Because they'll have money.
Again, you can go to Walmart and get your photos done. You can do that for sure. Are they what you want? Maybe not. That's all. And like I said, there's lots of photographers out there who do spectacular work. We charge a lot more money than $400, which do great work too. But I think a lot of those people are out of people's leagues.
Well, it's, we've said on past shows it's important to place value on your work, right? Like, you can't undervalue your work. So it's important to let people know this is what I'm worth.
Well, look at the equipment again, and not to say that our portion of things are more costly, but some things are. I just bought a Z6 II in December, and that's like $3,000 just for the body. And I'm a Nikon shooter, and I have all the f mount lenses, and wow, the 7200 for that Z6 is $3,500. So if you want to jump bodies or change bodies, depending on the photography you are, that could cost you $20,000.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Right? But everybody wants to shoot for free. So it's a very weird space we're in for all that stuff. And again, the self-worth issues, the self-esteem. Well, so do you have to charge? If you're serious about it, truly, you have to charge. And for people to expect you not to charge, it's really tough.
I think you always have to place value on your work, because no one's going to do it for you, right?
Well, yeah, and I've done some commercial stuff too, and it's pleasing your client. The client is always right, but that's not necessarily true, right? I think we all know that, and that is tough. That's a tough road too. You really have to be able to.
That's a fine line.
Pardon me?
That is a fine line to walk.
Yes, communication is really difficult. I think. I think I can communicate as much as the next person, but some of those negotiations are really, really tough. You're like, wow. It's almost like, we haven't talked about OnlyFans and stuff like that yet either. Like, you shoot a model, and then, they may want all the raws. Well, we don't give up. I don't give out raws.
No.
And when people want them, you're like, well, why do you want them? Say you did a photo shoot. Some, like Bryan talked about, people doing having their cameras on burst mode. I don't take 2,000 pictures at a photo shoot, but some people do. But can you imagine even downloading all those images for the client? I don't store that many images.
Yeah.
But they people want them, so they turn them into their things, and they make money off the photos. I guess if you have a contract of some sort, maybe you can manage that.
Well, it depends. You have to communicate ahead of time, and if you're shooting strictly to hand over files, like I've done commercial shoots where it's just, okay, here's the files. You guys are going to edit them. You guys are going to switch the background. That's fine. Here's all the raws. I got my check. I'm not getting anything from this other than money.
Yeah.
You do those shoots too, where you just hand over raw files and walk away.
Mm-hmm. But again, those are paid, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's paid, and it's all communicated ahead of time that this is how this is going to work. You give us these files and you walk away, and we'll handle all the editing and everything. We just want you to create a well-lit photo for us.
That's that, and I think that's the most important thing generally, is well lit, in focus, and then that becomes an issue depending on what's going on as well.
Yeah.
but
those are very boring.
Yes, those are assembly line
creativity involved at all, really.
Yeah, you basically turn off your brain and shoot those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas what you do is you have this concept, and for me, creating concepts is not as, I don't have the imagination you do, because what you do is I have no idea. Like it seems very tough. It seems it's so weird how you can have this one genre, photography, but there's so many different caveats to it. So for people to find homes in, and I think you just have to basically concentrate on your home and make yourself better every day at all those things, because a lot of my stuff is trial and error, and I shock myself. And if you're at one of my shoots and I'm high-fiving the model or jumping up and down all the time, I laugh at a lot of my shoots. Why? Because sometimes I say to myself, how did I figure that out?
Because you're a photographer, man. You're a problem solver.
Well, and I think that's the thing about shooting. How would I say? Kind of run and gun. Whether I'm on Parliament Street, right in the middle of Distillery District, there in the middle of there, and, I think it's 52 Division of the Toronto Police Service is right behind me there, and shooting them all with no clothes on right there is kind of, and stopping traffic.
There's a rush to it too, right? There's a rush.
Yeah, and like you said, Bryan getting kicked out of places, the ghost stations is kind of wow.
Run and gun shoots like that are so fun.
Yeah, right. Everyone's giggling.
So much energy.
Well, again, you want those pictures where people are saying, "Why is I shoot a lot of females, I shoot guys too, but why is that woman dressed like that in the middle of the street?"
Yeah,
but I can't take my eyes off it.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Oh, Tony says 51 Division. I guess Tony's familiar with that.
51. There you go. It's kind of cool because, like, let's say Tony there is chatting there. I've actually talked to him online myself too, and
Tony's a great photographer too.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Some of the people that we've shot, I've never met Tony, but we've shot some of the same people too. So interesting to see what he does with these models that I haven't done, and vice versa.
The run and gun stuff is just it's hard to beat. Although, I mean, laying out shots is like when you have a concept in your head and you build it all and everything. That's fun too. Like Andre and I, VNR Photography, we did a shoot in the summer with the cowboy.
Okay.
Do you know the
in
cowboy?
A swimming pool with off-camera flash, smoke grenades going off to make it look like a foggy lake, moonlit. Like it was a fun shoot to put together, but it was a lot of work to put it together.
But the results were great.
Yeah, we used like 2 photos from the shoot, but.
Yes,
I can actually show you what it looked like if you want to.
That'd be great.
Tony wants to shoot a ballerina in a junkyard.
See, I know Bryan goes to these defunct houses or whatever you call them,
abandoned places,
right?
Yeah.
Again, shooting in those kind of atmospheres, it's the oppositeness of it, if that's a word. Even that's just so eye catching, right?
Yeah.
Again,
well, it works too, right?
You created a silhouette outside, right? That's all.
Yeah, that's in the middle of the day outside in a backyard swimming pool.
Yeah.
Who would know, right?
Yeah.
No one would know.
No, that's the imagination of it. It's hard to.
Yeah, it's about exactly.
Like you said, shooting that during the day.
I do a lot of that shoot in the day to make it look like night stuff.
Well, the thing is, who knows how to do that? I know how to do that. Why? Because again, you learn all the rules and you break them all to get to what you want, right? Yeah. But that's the fascination I have is going to the location, and the weather might not be what you want it to be. The sun is not as bright as it's supposed to be, and you still create that banger shot. Like the beach,
you problem solve it.
You are so much fun. Do you rather shoot sunrise or sunset?
Oh, either. I don't care.
Depends on the season. Depends on the season.
Sunrise is really good for me because I don't know. I don't know if the malls like it too much, but I don't really care about what they have to think. Kidding. No, I like the concept of the morning because you never know what the sunrise is going to look like. And same with sunsets too. But night shoots. I see the thing about night shoots. I think that the sunrise is just so captivating. You get the silhouettes if you want them. Mm-hmm. That color in the background if you want them. It's just so nice. I did shoot, and I think I put it on Get Out and Shoot before. The Burlington Beach area and and the wharf there. Yeah. Again, anyone who wants to get a great sunset, you have to go to Burlington Beach.
Yeah.
So 50 Point. I love 50 Point for
sunrise. I haven't been there. That's on the other side of Hamilton, right?
Yeah, go there. Seriously, go there.
So yeah,
I'll see while we're talking if I can find a shot from 50 Point quick. Yeah, it's worth going.
Yeah, those creating those type of images, and when you show your client that, and they're like, and one thing I think I try to do too is I'm very quick after my first test shot. I don't use light meters. I don't do all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's just almost like you're in a studio. I know in most houses, most rooms, if I go to 5.6, I know that room's gonna be dark for my off-camera flash. I know. But how do I know? Again, I've shot a lot, and again, I know Bryan, you do landscapes. I started out as a landscape shooter myself.
Yeah, I do everything.
And so do I.
There's nothing I won't shoot.
Mm-hmm. But
I enjoyed the process of photography.
It's kind of intimidating, but it surprises you how well you can transform the shots to what you want them to be. You might not get a perfect shot because what's that? But it's also subjective. But I just try really hard.
Yeah, you just kind of keep going, which I think is like more than half the battle of being a photographer, being whoever making stuff. You just got to keep going with it, right? And that's just. It's like a discipline, right? Like it's really like a discipline where you just have to kind of focus on it and not worry about like all the noise going on around you.
Yeah, I still think I think it's hard in some respects because you want to. I want to create something different.
Yeah, like Bryan here. This is a 50 Point.
Okay. Long exposure.
This is not the meetup that we went to.
Yeah. So there's that one. And then that one.
That's right. Spot,
how many seconds was that?
Let me see. So this one is 15 seconds.
Wow.
And this one is 10 seconds.
Yeah, see, and I'm starting to even appreciate more and more how people are showing the work behind it. Again, the f-stop, the shutter speed, all those things.
Yeah.
I think it's the way to go. Like I spend a lot of time in my Instagram sending messages to myself of lighting setups.
Right.
I'm a one light shooter generally, two if you could include the sun. But you know what? This year I'm going to try and start to use 2 or 3 lights a little more. Why? Just because I have them, but lights are expensive too. But so if you want to learn off camera flash, just start with one light.
Mm-hmm.
If you can use the sun, even like if you can even figure out that, you turn the person's face to the sun, you have them find the light. That's half the battle right there.
If you really want to take up off-camera lighting, pick up a cheap LED panel. It'll let you see what the light is going to do, real time. Use it indoors, but you can see what light is going to do and get a feel for it. And then you can start building in. When I was learning, the guy that taught me said buy the cheapest manual flash you can find because then you will learn flash.
Yeah, the whole flash thing is just so. I think it's amazing, but shooting flash at night too is amazing as well. But people don't do it as much. But yeah, flash to me is just. I think it just separates photographers. I really do think that. It just there's things you can't create with natural light that you can with being a strobist.
Yeah.
Like how much is that, Bryan?
That panel is a $30 panel.
Amazon.
Yeah. Henry's.
Okay. $30, eh? There you go.
$30.
Because I'm a Godox shooter.
It's a Godox panel.
Okay, so I have 8200s. I have a 600 Pro, a 400, and two 400 Pros, and I dropped one in the water in Burlington, and right at my photo shoot. But luckily I always walk with three lights anyways. So for 8400s is $1,000 here. That's not good.
My go-to is I still have an AD360.
Okay, so I don't need speed lights at all. I could never.
No, it's not a speed light.
It's not.
No,
I couldn't because I can't use the speed lights. If there was one, I don't know actually how to figure that out. I never really tried. So what I do is I use TTL to get close, and then I go to my manual settings.
I don't think I've ever had my flash on TTL. But I learned with an old manual flash where I had to walk back and forth to adjust the power and take a shot. So you learn very quick. Okay, this is how this is going to work because I don't want to have to walk back and forth over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It forces you to learn. It sucks. It's hard at first, but it forces you to learn.
Yeah, and like it's again those sunsets, again that sunset behind the model. Like, how do you do that when your person's completely in shadow? There's only one way to do it. Well, you can read your reflectors, but if the sunset's strong enough. But yeah, I got my cart I bring with me on all my shoots. I probably bring way too much gear as it is. Again, we're talking about the expensive photography. It's an expensive hobby or craft, for sure. And you just got to keep trying to build and get better at what you're doing. Yeah. It's Flash. Again, Flash is a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. Totally.
But I started in a studio trying to figure out what it was about. And, you don't have to do too much studio time to figure it out. But when you learn. And then the next thing, I guess, is how to pose a model. How to, again, make them find the light. If they find the light, they're going to be good. In my estimation, because I like to have my model with fully lit face generally. And then I would clean them up. But, and then if I use shadow at all, it's because I want to use shadow, not because it's a mistake. Because truly, I want to be able to replicate a shot no matter where I am.
Yeah, that's interesting, eh?
Because again, some people, I love that shot. Well, you don't have that window. So what do? Well, you got to create window light somehow.
Yeah.
So
like this one.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'd love off-camera flash in abandoned houses.
Yeah, see, and all that stuff in the background you can light up as your smoke bombs, like Bryan was saying. All the different colors. I guess the new thing, maybe new to me, is the use of gels. I'm not a big gel person.
I love gels.
See, I don't like. I was on Instagram earlier today. I was asking some people about what brand of gel kits to get or where to find them.
Amazon's got all the gels, and the brand doesn't matter.
Yeah, so really. Again, an appropriate gel kit with the gels are a big enough size. I've seen that Lindsay Adler projector now. I'm thinking myself, ooh, that could be interesting. All these things like that to just change your shoot, right? Just to make things
look it makes it fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one off-camera flash in an abandoned house.
Yeah. Again, but look at
48-inch softbox.
How big?
48-inch.
Yeah. See, my go-to is a 34-inch Easy Lock, Glow Easy Lock. That's what I use generally, and double diffuse generally, or not, or silver. Sorry. But yeah, but with the gels, like when I first started seeing, I'm like, oh, ooh, yeah. But when people actually mean to do it, I think it separates photographer again. Because we're creating mistakes with our shoots, but some of that mixing of those gels, you're like, wow, how creative was that? Or again, the concept behind what they're doing, unreal.
100%.
Here's one where I used a gel to kind of simulate warm sunlight coming in a window.
See, is that a CTO gel? I don't know. Is that
Yeah, CTO gel.
See, so I do know some of the terms about it, but I would just not. I don't know. I would never introduce it. It's just not.
I wanted the warm highlight on the side, like it's coming in from a window, and then there's a light on her as well.
Yes. For the rim light too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So as a fitness photographer, I know a lot of fitness photographers are into more than one light for sure, maybe 3.
Yeah, your strips and
to create the rims. Yeah. And do I have those things? Yeah. Sometimes I just find them cumbersome to travel with. You have your beauty dish of whatever sort or size, and then to bring the strip boxes with you too, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Even shooting in your abandoned houses and homes, you have to lug your gear very far sometimes to get these shots.
Oh yeah, no, abandoned house, you want whatever you can carry in your hands.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah. So it could limit you, but it could be good if you have help too, right? Do you have helpers for your stuff?
Pardon?
Do you have helpers for your stuff?
Oh no. What I find with bringing in minimal equipment is it forces you to make decisions ahead of time as to what you're going to bring, and then it forces you to adapt when you're there, because it's like, oh crap, I want this shot, but I've only got this gear with me. How am I going to make it now? And it builds your problem solving skills, which problem solving skills as a photographer are what separates. Because
yes, for sure.
Like I've done training for photographers for events, and I'll give them their camera gear and have them walk around, take shots. Then they come back to me, show me what they got. Then I take away their telephoto and say, okay, your telephoto just broke, but I need some close-ups. Go do it. Because I want them to build in their head how they're going to solve the problem if it comes up real time when they're on the shoot.
Well, again, that's back to the basics, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You go back to your basics and then you adjust from there.
Yeah, you've only got a wide angle lens. You got to get up on stage and be comfortable getting up on stage and get tight shots of these performers, because that's what they're paying for. But your gear is broken, and you can't use that as an excuse when you're being paid to get shots.
Yeah, and then again, the things you have to think about doing those type of things is the distortion of those images and all those things, and like you said, how to minimize that distortion. Again, that's by trial and error and quick on your feet and
think
knowledge.
On your feet, but you learn through experience how you're going to adapt to all those situations.
So I guess that what I'm hearing here is that we have to appreciate how much work we've done before we actually shoot, right?
Yeah.
We might lose track of
do a midday shoot, no reflectors, no shadow, no shade, in a sunflower field, midday, with a 400 mil, and that's your only lens.
You're a long ways away, that's for sure. But yeah.
You've got you can't bring in modifiers because you're not allowed. So you can't bring in a flash, you can't bring in a reflector. You've got harsh midday sun beating down on your model, and you've still got to produce.
Open shade, right?
No shade, open, like you're right in the sun. You're in a field. There's no trees, anything that you can use to cut your light.
Yeah.
It's all about posing to use that light.
Yeah, I think.
And it can be done. Like everybody says, oh, don't shoot at noon. Well, no, shoot at noon so that you know how to shoot at noon. Because sometimes as a photographer, you don't get to pick where and when
you don't get to shoot. No.
But you're still expected to produce results.
No, exactly. And I think we don't even give ourselves enough credit to say that, because we are, like you said, work on the fly is not easy, and to create these images takes a vibration of everybody to do it.
There are a lot of photographers out there who will create great images when everything is perfect. Lots of them. the professionals and the ones that we aspire to be create great images no matter what.
Well, that's what I hope to be able to do. I just want strong images. What's a strong image versus a weak image? I don't know, but necessarily. But again, the composition, the mood, all those aspects, the lighting, all those aspects have to be all in there to get the image you want. Mm-hmm. And if one of them are lacking, like again, you can have a spectacular model. If you can't light the person properly,
yeah,
it makes
none of it matters. Yeah,
right. And then the editing comes in if you need to edit. Well, I always edit my pictures anyway, so we have flaws, and my job is to also hide some of those flaws. I know people would say that no, I want to be completely natural from my shot. Well, it's difficult.
Yeah,
difficult. So again, you're not trying to. That doesn't mean over editing either. I mean, you definitely have to clean people up. And it's no different than why do people? There you go.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm. That shadow on inside of her arm, very subtle, right? That's what it's about, right? Yeah. So, what did in this example say? What would your ISO be like? As low as it can go, or what do you?
100 for sure.
100?
Yeah, because it's just bright midday sun. Like there's.
And with a 400 mil. What is that?
Yeah, you get that compression with the flowers and f5.6.
Pardon me?
It's an f5.6.
Okay, yeah. See, and again, it's the depth of the image, the expression, wondering what she's thinking about, what's going on in her mind. Yeah. That's what I want to see in pictures when I look at them.
Head turned slightly up towards the sun so that you don't get any unflattering shadows around the eye.
Exactly.
It's
that's
done. You have to do it.
Yeah, shadow play is a delicate thing. I think, like I would rather be able to control it than not control it. Right. So if you understand, so again with your model there, I don't know how experienced she is, but she knows enough to get her head in a situation where it doesn't give her unflattering shadows. Mm-hmm. You don't want those raccoon eyes. You don't want them. Right. So, and that's what I really like about shooting portraits is that filling that person's face with light, using a long lens generally. Even that lens choice is such a huge thing that people don't understand either. If you want to do a portrait with a 24 mil lens, that's great. But if you want that person to look better, you're going to shoot with a long lens, get them at 200 millimeter or 400 even this one. And look what it does. That compression just blows people away. People are like, oh, that doesn't look like me. I know, because it's compressed you. Probably made you look younger, made you look cleaner, all those things.
Love it.
We don't really shoot to have unflattering images. We want flattering images.
That's usually the goal, right?
Because even I have this discussion with people about makeup artists, and I love to use them when I can, and if I can afford them or they're available to me. Is they do before makeup, then they do makeup. They should do after photographer to complete the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's an argument I have with models all the time. But because you can get your makeup done and the model might not even like the makeup.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens, right?
So yeah, in getting makeup artists, they're skilled, and even on my page, like I said, at the beginning of my shoot, I always shoot beauty. I generally ask the models to have a darker eye, not necessarily a smoky eye, but a darker eye, just because I think that the contrast is better. And from my boudoir stuff, when I shoot boudoir, again, instead of being light and airy, I want power. I think with the darker makeup or the edgier makeup, and sometimes the darker ambiance of the room, it just brings so much more power into the image, and that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like darker too, but a different kind of darker. It's not boudoir,
right? So I don't know if boudoir is just in fashion now, but say I shoot fitness. My thought is about fitness is that you know, a lot of people shoot fitness in the gym, and I can shoot fitness in the gym, and I have shot fitness in the gym, but I take it outside the gym. Why? Is because you do all that work in the gym to look good in your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right. So let's take you out of the gym and put you where you're shining. Because you people do the gym stuff, and maybe I'm wrong. They can say this for themselves, and maybe it is sometimes. But that perception of look what I've done in the gym, look how I look today. That's how social media is. Sadly, but true.
I appreciate the work I've put in to get this.
The work I've done. Look at me in my lingerie on the Go Station platform.
Yeah,
standing there in the broad day sun. Odd, true, but it works.
Do lingerie under a street light at night.
Pardon me?
Do lingerie under one street light at night. That's your only light source.
Yeah, I don't have that on my page, and I don't know how to send it to you now, but maybe I could show you guys some stuff afterwards. But like shooting on the Humber Bridge at night with all the ribs of that bridge with flash, spectacular stuff. There's a bridge that crosses the CN Tower, so the CN rail lines just west of the CN Tower.
Is that the yellow one?
Yeah, it's got the yellow. I've done a couple of shoots there. I don't even think I could duplicate the success of that shot. I'm like, this is like 3 or 4 years ago, and again, being able to duplicate shots is I think is very important to me. Can I do it? Not all the time, but I try to be able to do that. But again, that bridge, anyone who to get out and shoot people, you got to shoot that bridge, and shooting a model on that bridge on top of that,
with a longer lens. Oh,
yeah. Again, 7200 is my thing. I actually I'm shopping for my Zeds 6.2s 7200 now, and I just don't want to pay the $3,400. but
don't blame you.
I say my go-to lens, my 24-70. I have a love-hate relationship with it. 35 is great, 85 is great as well. That's my little arsenal of lenses that I have. I have 4. But again, to replace all those things with the Z mount, it's going to cost me some money. So it'll just take some time. But again, it's a hobby that I think has really done well for me. It distracts you from what else is going on in your life, possibly. Gives you an outlet. Again, get out and shoot. I've been out there a few times. I've met Bryan with that doing it the first time.
You gotta come out some more, man. You gotta come out to some of these steel wool workshops.
Saturday night, 8 o'clock.
Set up a beach one. Maybe we can get that done this year. But
we should get that done this year at least.
But yeah, like again,
Saturday night, 8 o'clock at the ROM. Be there.
What time?
Saturday night, 8 o'clock at the ROM. Be there.
Again, I have
We're doing a night walk.
The week on the Saturday, so I'm not sure I can get there by 8, but you never know. But yeah, I don't know if I could bring some models to it too. But shooting outdoors like that it's so good, and I don't know why people don't shoot at night more and make those black and whites out of that stuff too. Yes, like very strong images. What I'm doing right now, I follow a lot of people out of Germany. It seems they just seem to create images slightly different. I don't know why that is, but their black and whites are so contrasty and so rich, but they're very good. I'd love to try and do some of those in Toronto and surrounding areas this year.
Yeah, we should do it, man.
But because I know you did a couple of off-camera flash workshops last year, which I get to, but it's just what's the response when people actually see how it's done? What's it like
during the workshop?
Yeah. Do they struggle with it,
Sorry?
Do they struggle with it, or do they embrace it?
It depends on their experience level. If they're brand new, there's some struggle. If they have some experience, it's not so bad. I think once once Evans or Bryan shows them the shot that they can get, they're usually surprised by the result, like by how different the shot is with the off-camera flash versus not off-camera flash, right? So I think they're more intrigued with going the off-camera flash route just because it's so different.
Yeah,
and it just looks so much better, right? So
yeah. One thing I would say about off-camera flashes and stuff is that setting up your camera is a tedious process, and once I set up my camera, I don't touch anything. Like I mean,
yeah.
like not the settings, but like the settings within the camera, I don't touch them once again. And I get most of my information off YouTube for those things. And I just once I set it up, I just don't tinker with them too much. Sure, I'll mess with the ISO. My ISO I generally don't go over 640 for my shoots, no matter what. Again, if I'm doing a wedding or being a second shooter at a wedding, sure, I'll be the 6400s for video and stuff. But generally, my ISO is very low. My shutter speed's always probably 160 or higher, and I shoot wide open as much as possible.
Right.
If I'm going to spend the money on the lens, I might as well use it to its full capabilities.
Yeah,
I do a lot of night stuff, so I basically in my bag, my slowest lens is a 1.8.
Well, see, I only have 1.8.
But I do a lot of night shooting, so.
Like I know is it Scott's P photography? Is that who it is? He's a get out and shoot person too. He does a lot. Anyways, he does a lot of the wharfs and the cityscape of Toronto, and his black and whites that I've seen, like I said, I met him at one of your meetups,
right?
And wow, I just wish I could even do just those. So it's interesting that as a portrait photographer, I still have shot street before, and the thing is, it all comes together when you shoot that girl in an alleyway in the dark. It all comes together. So you know, again, the leading lines, all those things are so important in photo shoots. I don't know, there's a whole list of things that I'm looking at in my shot. And I even comment to the mall sometimes. The mall, I'll be standing there. There you go. I might be standing there looking at the scene. I'm not even looking at the mall. I'm looking at the things around the person. I want that to be in the image as well. And then
that's a good approach.
Pardon me?
I like that approach. Seeing what's around the model.
Like it's like sure they're there, but again, they're just another part of the picture.
Right.
Especially if you're doing a more environmental style portrait too.
Environmental fitness photography, I love it. A lot of one of my dreams or my aspirations is to go to Vegas and shoot, or go to Utah, I guess, and shoot the salt flats. Okay. I want to do that, with the wind in the fabric and all those things. I just think destination shooting, I think everyone should probably try it. I've never tried it yet myself, because of maybe COVID or maybe just my insecurities of doing it, traveling with my equipment. But I think that's a definitely a great thing to do. The caves in Arizona, some of the colors you see in those caves, I'd love to duplicate those things. Harsh light, nice, right? Shadows.
Yep, midday sun. Gotta love it. Just down at the Cherry Beach area.
Yeah, I wish I was techie enough to be able to send you some pictures. Maybe I can send you a couple of pictures here. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just how things work for me is I just have fun with my shoots.
We were just kind of running around the beaches area.
Yeah, but when you're looking at these locations, I still want my location to be different than the other people. Maybe it's just the angle I shoot them at. So people.
That's why I went for the more industrial area of the beaches as opposed to the beach, because muscle on the beach is kind of cliche.
Well, yeah, like it's weird to say how many times I've shot
something like that one
area though. Yes, like the Humber Bridge area there is on my page is a black male on my page on the big square. And there's another photographer I did a YouTube show with, and he asked me how I lit it. And I said it was a 2-light shot. He's like, it looks too perfect for that. I'm like going, surprised me too. But I really loved it. And if you scroll down on my page, it's a black guy on there, and he's got no shirt on, but he's just looking straight into the camera. It just looks so good. I was really surprised at him. And again, it was a fitness shot, again, on a bridge. It doesn't really.
This guy?
Keep going. No, keep going. That's Martin Luther King. Keep going. South. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
I love these photos, by the way.
Keep going.
This dude?
This guy here. That was shot outside.
Nice.
And it was at the Humber Bridge, right at the base of the bridge. It's just
Wow.
I was so like when I did it, I'm like, ooh. And again, that's when I start giggling to my. That guy said that's a fitness person. He said, he goes, I'm not really that fit right now, and I'm like, wow.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that the worst?
What's your BMI, buddy?
Well, the thing is, with fitness too, and it's great that the competitors and these people are striving so hard to get their bodies, and they work really hard, and very, very few of them say they're actually ready for a photo shoot.
Yeah, because usually, like before a show, they cut weight and everything, and increase their definition.
Yeah, and see, myself, I don't shoot people shoot day. I mean, competition day, or the day before, or the day after. I don't do that. Normally, it's the Monday before or the Monday after.
Yeah, and they're trying, like Olympic athletes, they're trying to peak right at competition.
Yeah.
And there's a procedure involved in getting to that peak condition.
Right, and the coaches generally don't want them shooting that week. So so you have to be cognizant of that stuff too. And again, I've taken my want to shoot at fitness to boudoir. Right. It's the same thing in my estimation. So, shooting on a stage in a fitness competition, everyone gets the same pictures. But once you put them in the street, once you get them in the alleyways, once you get them on the beach, the woods, it just changes how it looks. And that's what I want to instill, and that's what I want to take pictures of.
I love it, buddy.
I don't shoot cars much, but I can do that as well. Again, having those sunsets or those sunrises behind your cars and having them lit by the sun.
Yeah,
it's nice to mix it up once in a while.
Yeah, mix it up. Have some fun, right?
Well, yeah, and again, it just makes you able to, when you're stuck, you just call back on your experience and you shoot again.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just gotta keep going. That's it.
Just keep going.
We're up against the hour, so we'll have Andrew back on again. I think we just think there's a lot more layers to this onion that we can peel off. But big thanks to Andrew for taking the time. Hopefully you guys all took away a couple of things. Make sure you check out Andrew on Instagram. Like we just showed some of his stuff. His work is amazing. Also, I put his website up there too. And
thank you.
And also, hopefully Andrew comes out for a couple of meetups, get to meet him in person, and have some fun. So
yeah, I really like the platform. Just get out and shoot. The more you shoot, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, it's just to me, that's just how you learn stuff, just by talking to people. So hopefully see you out there.
Yeah,
a couple times this year. I think Roy asked for the next challenge. So Bryan, you want to? I don't think Roy was on last week or something. So the next challenge.
The creative portrait challenge.
Yeah.
Perfect for Andrew too.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot a creative portrait.
Yeah.
In the month of March, and we'll do the show sort of beginning of April, probably.
First show of April.
I know. What does that actually mean? The creative portrait.
Creative.
You decide.
Or is that anything or creative portrait?
Anything.
Both. Push yourself.
Yeah. Push yourself. Yeah, you gotta submit, man. You gotta submit.
And here, I'll share a creative portrait I shot the other day to end the show. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right.
I showed this to the guys beforehand. You'll probably see it pop up on Instagram
I'm
soon.
feeling pressure already. Pressure.
You're gonna crush it, man.
Share screen. There we go. Creative portrait.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah,
Think
Roy.
outside
So that's
the box. Yes, Roy.
So that's the one. So you can. I guess we're gonna do the first show of April. I guess we have the whole month. Of March.
First show of April, maybe second show. I might have a theater shoot the first week of April.
All right. So in that time frame.
Yeah.
So I got some time.
I will.
Andrew, you gotta submit, man.
Let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
Just be creative. Have fun. It's a fun challenge.
Yeah.
Have fun with it. Push yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's something very hard, isn't it?
It is hard. That's why we do it.
It's fun because it's hard.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Try new
Well,
things.
thank you for the opportunity to be on here, Bryan and Paul.
Yeah, final thoughts, man?
It's again, just even for myself, I know that we do criticize ourselves more than anybody else, and just try to let it go. And
You're always your own worst critic.
I'm just trying to try and post myself and just show what these people I've had the opportunity to work with are capable of, and just be happy with it. That's all.
Love it. On the message. Awesome, man. We'll have you back on at some other point this year, hopefully, and talk about some other stuff because
sounds good.
Very talented photographer. So thanks everyone for jumping on another show. We'll see you next Wednesday for something else, and have a great night.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Andrew, stay on in the green room.
Okay.
Oh yeah, our outro music because Evans is still stuck in traffic.
Poor Evans.
Man. All right. We'll see you next time.
See you next week, people.